Alright, welcome to the Coastal High Race Report. Pretty flash bling I got on. Got all three from the trail trips. Triple Crown. Hence the hat. Hence the shirt. Coastal High. Absolutely frothing off this one. Let's get straight into it.
That was totally wicked!
Alright, so that's an absolute summary of the next whole video and the time on course. It was just absolutely amazing and just mind-blowing. But I've also been seeing a lot of the Tarkine Forest and following Bob Brown for a while now to realise that all these beautiful forests are under threat from native logging. Thankfully, where we were running Lamington National Park and Springbrook National Park through Numinbah Valley is all protected rainforest national parks, so it's fine. But there's still a lot of native rainforests that are trying to be logged, and clear fell, which is the worst type of logging. So if you are interested in that, this video for the next minute and a half, Bob Brown speaks a little about what's going wrong, how we can stop it. I'll put a link down below. Have a go, and then enjoy the rest of the video from there.
Hi, I'm Bob Brown, and I'm standing in one of the most desolate, squalid scenes you'd see anywhere in the world. It shouldn't be part of Australia, but it is. Behind me here, Eucalyptus regnans. These trees are the tallest flowering plants on earth. They grow up to 100 metres high, and some in this forest that have been destroyed are up to 4 metres across. An ancient ecosystem that's been growing here for thousands of years. And under my hand here, perhaps the biggest fern I've ever seen in my 8 decades on this planet. I was here last week when it was alive. Now, under the authority of the Albanese government, supporting the loggers, it's been bulldozed to death. And with it, the living, beautiful forest that was here. Most Australians want this stopped. But Albanese's with the 13% who want to keep the destruction going. That's because he's directed by corporate, monetary, quick dollar driven people. Well, he needs to get back with the people. So do all our politicians. It's time Australia put an end to this massacre of our heritage. Come on, Australia, and come on, Albo. Stop this destruction.
Alright, so hopefully you're heaps motivated about protecting our rainforest and not super down. But this is the race start. We got a bus up to the top, like a shuttle. Everyone had to get there by the bus. You couldn't actually drive to the race start, which made it a really fun, unique and different way to start a race. We're off straight away. I'm not sure what Dan was saying to this guy. I think his name's Alex with the dreads, but it looked like a fun conversation. I'm going to have to ask him. But it was really great. I let that group go straight away because we've got another 50 k's of running, basically uphill for the next 3 kilometres as we enter this little top of the rainforest at Binnaburra. I think this is the border track and it goes quite flat for a while before an amazing downhill section. Benefits of starting at the top, this view. We didn't have to run up too high before we saw it. And just about every clearing, I was like, wow, oh my gosh, whoa. It was so cool. It was the same view every time and I was just like, whoa, getting my mind just bent and my breath taken away from me from running and also the view that was up here. Thankfully, it's not high enough elevation to actually have me breathless. My ears popped on the drive up a couple times, but it was so nice. Through this bit, it was actually a little bit technical. It was kind of this weird concrete footpath thing that was really lumpy, bumpy, and quite slippery under my shoes. So I'm running in the On-Trail Cloud Ultras, something along those lines, and there's this plastic bottom that's a bit slippery. But we got off that onto this great downhill section for what felt like maybe 5Ks. I think it was the cruisiest, funnest 5Ks. Flattened out a couple times, saw a couple great views like this, and then saw a couple other people, which was really nice. I thought I was going to be running alone, and just this view, man. Wow. I love it so much. I was having the greatest time. The first 18 Ks was just an absolute ball. This bit was sick. Everything echoed through there because this is a big cut rock face. I'm pretty sure this is about 20k in. The first 18 was great, and then we went uphill. Yeah, we start going uphill, as you can see. I think this is some stairs. We hit the first bit of stairs, and I was like, oh my god, here we go. I'd love to know how many stairs are in this course, because the elevation is 2,000 meters total, and I reckon half of that is actually walking upstairs.
What?
Benefits of 2,000 meters elevation is the sights you get to see. Also, this was like the most bit I was excited for the course. Running through that and this hand railing drop off the edge of the cliff. Like, dude, this is where we're running, doing this crazy event. It'd be cool to be running with a whole heap of
Having
other
an
people.
absolute blast out here. Oh my gosh. Halfway. Let's get it. Here's a view.
Benefit of no one else around me, I can run my own pace, my own time, and get all this sick footage for you guys as well.
Oh my god. Check out this drop.
Unfortunately, you can't
Oh,
see the
it's
drop
hard
from
to
this
see.
angle. It was so
God.
steep.
This is so insane. Oh my gosh.
Frothing at the bit. Nutrition wise, every 5Ks I had a Cliff product. So first was a Cliff block, then a gel, then a bar. Repeated that 3 times. That would make 45Ks of nutrition.
Tear tag. Nice work, Cliff Bar.
Thankfully, those tear tags don't fall off, and you can pocket them straight back into your pocket, dropping nothing on the trails. I slowly increased the caffeine throughout as well, which was pretty handy. And water-wise, was a whole heap of creek crossings that I took absolute full advantage of. But I have 2 500ml little soft flasks in my trail pack. Kept me going. I almost ran out because the first aid station was 22 k's in. Thankfully, I had enough to get me there, sculled a little bit, refilled them, and I ended up refilling water every 10k after that because the aid stations were every 5k's after that first one. This is just after an aid station where as I arrived to it, 2 guys up the road stopped.
Straight. There's one band.
And I could see people again. The idea of this race was not to race it, was to be an event and enjoy running out the trails and survive 50k's. As soon as I saw people though, I decided to start chasing them down.
Brutal hill.
Hence looking back there down the hill.
More brutal climbing.
But this is the apple tree section of the steep
Longest run
as
ever.
uphill.
32 was the longest before this.
And yeah, as I said, 32 was the longest. That was the border bolt from the last event. So I'm not in 18k's onto that.
There's been a lot of walking today.
And then we went uphill. My first marathon.
Running a marathon, and then at the end of it, you got to hike the Q1.
It's a good way to do a first
Oh
marathon.
my gosh, 8k's to go.
As you can see, it's actually taller than the Q1 and way more stairs, so have a go at that. With 8k's to go though, I was pretty fatigued and tired. I don't know if you can tell, my pace has already slowed down massively. This is actually a flat section, yeah. Coming down into Perlingbrook Falls. The GoPro's the stabilization actually stops you from seeing the top of the fall here, but go out to Perlingbrook and have a look yourself to see the top. Absolute mad time. Been out here so often, so the last part of the course I knew easily. I also knew after this bridge is a steep uphill for the next 3k's to the finish line. As you can see, if you've watched any of my other running, this is not how I usually finish races, but I loved it. It's pretty achy just about every joint and my whole muscles, everything, my diaphragm. Somehow managed to smile at the end though, because we just ran this amazing course for 50 kilometers, which was about almost 6 hours. I was really weirded out about the finish line tape though. I feel like that's only reserved for winners. Even if you come second, I wouldn't want that, but I came 10th and I got finish line tape and these sick medals. So this was another highlight. So first it was in the raw, then the border bolt, and then coastal high, and they all linked together, which is a sick idea. I love it. And straight from the finish line into my favorite place, P3 to recover. I did the core and then the boots, ate some food, chilled out, had a nap, come home, had some more food, and the next day straight back out to a cafe for 3 meals for me. Absolute hell time. All right, so that's the race report. Cheers to that. Still recovering, had the whole week off training. I'm at the heaviest I've ever been in my life, 75 kilos, just tipped over that today. I did weigh myself after maybe 2 litres of water and a whole heap of food, but hey, that's living. The whole time I was excited for this week off after the race, being 50k. I knew my body would be quite fatigued and enjoying having a week of no training at all. No strength, nothing. Keen to get straight back into it though, because we got the cut at Nerang coming up in the end of October. So I think I've got about 6 weeks of training leading up into that. I've got the 50Ks in my legs now, I know of that. Hopefully I'll make 50Ks in the cut, because you get cut each lap if you're not quick enough. So I've got to be quick enough, endurance enough to actually last the 50Ks. Super excited, but that's it for me for a little bit on here. See you then.